welcome back. We were talking about how to be prepared for your upcoming power cut. This happens every year, right? Better to be prepared and have a solution where you can depend on it for the upcoming 5-6 years. So the next solution where you are getting out from those generators where the noise is an issue, you have to get down and switch it on. That's unnecessary hassle, right? For example, if the power goes off at 11 o'clock in the night, you have to get out, go out, switch on your generator, come back, and then put your the changeover switch to the generator and go back. When the power comes in, you have to go back again, shut it down, do all that, unless you have all automated system where it costs little more. So the next stage to go is go with an inverter with a battery backup. So I think we spoke about it on one of the previous episode, but I'll repeat it again. So this solution, what you would do is you will first of all separate the circuits at home. Like a generator, what you're doing, you need to separate what you essentially need. And then let's say I need 5 lights running, I need 2 fans running, I need my TV, and let's say you have a CCTV system, that your routers, if you have Wi-Fi now, obviously we need internet nowadays, so internet, you might have 1 or 2 computers, a laptop maybe. So design for that and do the power usage calculation. So you can say, I have 5 lights, one is 10 watts, so you need 50 watts for the lights, and then you take your television and then say if it's 100 watts, you have 150 watts now, and you have 2 laptops which one use about 70 watts, so 140. So you add them together and you come to a point where you know what the total power usage is. For example, I'll take it as a 500 watt usage. Now your maximum power usage is 500 watt at this stage, where you switch on your fans, everything. Now keep a headroom, because you always need a headroom, because even when you're buying a generator, let's say your power consumption is 500 watts, you don't go and buy a generator for 500 watts. You buy one for 1000 or more, because 50% headroom is what I always recommend. See what happened to Norwich, surely, right? And you don't plan ahead, then just because something can deliver that amount doesn't mean you can always take the full capacity of that device, which is bad for the device, it's bad for everyone. Because let's say, for example, what would you rather do, run 10 kilometers an hour or do like 2 to 3 kilometers an hour, right? Because if you walk, you can walk further than if you run. Applies to electronic, applies to all the devices, so make sure you have that headroom. So let's say 500 watts, now I need 500 watts, then calculate how much time you need this to be running. Whether you want to run it for 10 hours, then we know 500 multiplied by 10, I need this much energy for 10 hours. Then you need to find the inverter that suits your need. Again, like UPSs, you get 2 types of inverters. One is the modified sine waves, the other one is fully sine wave. So the modified sine wave ones will be really cheap. For example, 2500 VA one would cost you about around 25,000 rupees, which is decent. You can run a lot of stuff with it. CFL is fine. You can run, if you have like a water cooler, that can run fine. If you have newer generation refrigerators, it will run okay, especially the inverters. It will not run your air conditioner, it will not run your microwave, it will not run your iron, but it will run your ceiling fans, it will run your table fans, it will run your TV, but I wouldn't recommend it, because sine waves are not recommended. Modified sine waves are not recommended, but provided for a certain limited amount of time is fine. And then you can go with the pure sine wave inverters, which will start for about 40 to 30,000 rupees for a 2500 VA inverter. So all that is done. Now you need to decide, because if you are going with a 12 volt system or 24 volt system or a 48 volt system. So inverters will say it will require either a 12 volts battery, 24 volts battery, or a 48 volt battery. Again, with the batteries, you have 2 choices. You can go with the standard car batteries, the cheap way out. They won't last you much, but good thing is car batteries are cheap. Most of the smaller size batteries comes with a 5-year warranty.
Yeah.
So you're good for 5 years. But if you get a deep cycle marine battery, we are talking about you can buy 5 car batteries for the price of 1. So now plan for that amp hours of that batteries. For example, we already decided we need to run 500 watts for 10 hours. So now you need to see if your battery bank can handle it. So the battery bank, you need to make sure that that battery bank has the capacity to drive 500 watts into 10 hours. So if it's a 24 volt system, you need to multiply 24 volts into the number of amp hours you have on that battery. So when you do that calculation, you can decide, again keep a headroom of 50%, because when the battery says is 60 amp hours, doesn't mean you can use the entire 60 amp hours. It will kill your car batteries in shorter amount of time. So keep that 50% headroom. Add batteries. Buy the smaller batteries, I would recommend, because if let's say your complete requirement is 120 amp hours, rather than buying a single 120 amp hours battery, I would recommend you're getting 260 amp batteries. Add them together, you get 120. So that why? Because bigger the battery, lesser the warranty.
Right.
So if you buy a big battery, I realized when I was doing this, you get like 1 year or 2 years. But if you buy a 60 amp battery or a lesser amp battery, you get 5 years. So benefit on that. Buy the smaller 2 batteries, add it. Even after the 5 years, if you have to replace one battery, your cost for that replacement is less. That if one fails after 5 years, is fine. I mean, why spend so much money? And when I did the math, when I was doing my home, I put 70, I think it's 70 amp, we have 6 batteries. So I realized that it was cheaper. I think till now we went check battery pricing as well, remember? And then it's still running. I mean, now it's going at 2 years. Regular car batteries, they are connected 24/7. The good thing about inverters is you wouldn't even notice that the power went, because they're so quick to change. We only see certain, like our TV goes off because we don't have the TV connected into this. So the TV goes off, and again you need the help of a electrician to get the circuits changed and goes through the inverter. And the last stage what you can do is plan for solar.
Yeah.
So even if you buy a cheaper inverter, you can have solar panels to charge the batteries. With this stage, what will happen is you will use the CB power to charge the batteries and use it during the power cuts. So this is one solution. Make sure if you're using car batteries or any lead type batteries, they stays outside, not inside the house, because when they're charging, it dissipates gases and it's not good for you. And batteries contain acid. So put it outside where there's no direct sunlight, cover it up, put it on a box, put some little ventilation to go off. And inverter, it has to be inside. Shorter the cable from your battery to inverter is the better. Make sure you have a good DC breaker between your battery and the inverter. So if something shorts, there's something to cut it off. Because keep in mind, when you have like a 48 volt or a 24 volt system with that much of amperage, if those wires short, it's gonna go boom. I mean, there's so much power on those car batteries, so make sure they don't short. So get an electrician to set it up. If you do this, I mean, you're good for the power cut. I mean, we can estimate a power cut wouldn't last more than 2 to 3 hours, right?
Yeah.
At a maximum of 3 hours, let's say. I mean, you will be good to go, because you'll be having your fans running, you will be having your lights. I mean, we don't have the TV connector because we just want to know there's a power cut, right?
Yeah.
And TV is something you have to get out of. We are saying this on a television show, saying you shouldn't watch too much TV, but make that a time to hang around with your family, talk to each other.
During power cuts, people tend to use people are on phones, right?
Yeah.
So you can get a good power bank to power your phone during power cuts, right?
But if you have an inverter, you don't need it.
Yeah.
You can plug your charger and charge it. But power banks is another option where you might want to buy one and keep it. especially if you're traveling. I mean, Thilinan use it. I mean, we both use. I mean, even today when we are coming in, so we're using a power bank. Power banks are one of the things to have. Don't buy the smallest one. If you have, I mean, if you're like me having a backpack, have a good one. That means a bigger one, so you have multiple chance of charging it. So I think we covered everything. So if you have any questions, how do you contact us? arttechtalk@thakaslk.com. Drop us an email. We'll be sure to. I mean, we might even reply to you. Who knows? So if you have any questions, send it to us so we know what you think about the show. Any feedback is welcome. So again, it's arttechtalk, one word, @thakaslk.com. I think it's on the screen as well. That's it for today. Thank you for joining us. See you next week.